What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Suplex City Geeks. Uh, Joining you today. Well, it's Steve. First off, Steve. Jesus Christ, I fucked up the intro again. Once again, 3 weeks in a fucking row.
Be one with the flub.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we can do is just flub it all up all the time. But yeah, it's Steve here, or like I have on the screen. It's Lariato, like the Japanese commentators say during the wrestlings and stuff when they lariat each other. So yeah, it's me. And joining me today, I got Brian.
What's up?
Chilling, dude. Chilling, man. It's been another fantastic fucking week for wrestling, dude. For the most part. How you doing, man? What have you watched?
I'm all right. I got a cold. And
Yay, colds.
And, I had to do the at-home COVID test bullshit. But
Just in case.
But I got a cold. It's just what we used to call sickness before 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm good. It's been a wonderful week for wrestling, of course.
Yeah, it has been.
But I feel like ever since AEW became a thing, it's been a really wonderful week for wrestling.
It really has been. Because for a while we were getting
kind of the same bullshit with WWE,
the same subpar stuff from WWE. Yeah. And we're not going to completely shit on them, even though this week they didn't put anything worth us noting.
Right. It's a WWE week. It's a WWE-less week.
Yeah. There are going to be weeks that we will not say anything about WWE other than just saying that we're going to say shit about them.
Mm-hmm.
Because this week, all their shows were not up to par, dude. They, like, granted, yes, I'm not a wrestler. I don't know. I have never taken a bump. But as far as the entertainment level,
mm-hmm.
none of them really grabbed my attention. Storylines went pretty much nowhere.
As they usually do.
Yeah, and they kind of like announce certain matches that are going to be happening at WrestleMania Backlash that are pretty much rematches of what we saw at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, enough. I'll see at the next. The next pay-per-view I'll probably watch is maybe SummerSlam.
Right. Which is pretty much the big pay-per-view. Yeah.
Because, like, do you remember a time when it was only 4 shows a year?
Yep. Kind of like how AEW has it now.
Yeah, it was Mania. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It was Rumble, then Mania, then SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. It was one pay-per-view per quarter.
Yep.
And now it's like every 2.5 weeks there's something else.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Just like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah, but the good thing now is, if you really think about it, it's like they got to a point that they noticed that people don't really want to buy their pay-per-views, so they threw it on the streaming network.
Right, they threw it on the WWE network first. I mean, the network still exists overseas, from what I know, but like, it's good that they created their own thing, and now this merger with Peacock for them to stream it, because I have Peacock for like $11 a month or something, and you have an account on my thing, and it's like, oh, I get to watch wrestlings, and I get to watch comedy.
Yeah, that's pretty much
laughably bad at some points.
Yeah. There are not, and this is not a shoot on like the wrestlers themselves, the performers.
No.
It's
the bad writing. It's the bad creative.
It's the bad creative, dude. And we'll talk about more bad creative later.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there's a lot of shit in WWE that it's like, the fact that like they have like all these build-ups to like nothing really. Doesn't really grasp my attention as much.
No, me either.
Granted, I'll watch it for this reason, is to be on the show to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
but am I gonna go above and beyond to watch these things?
No.
No. If I didn't have to do this show, I wouldn't be watching any of the WWE stuff. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. See, we're doing this for you guys, for the listener.
We're suffering through bad creative for our fans.
Yes. This we're showing our love
Mm-hmm.
for the views and the listens and the subscribers.
Yeah.
So I figured we start this week with stuff that's pretty much been going on within the wrestling world, or like the history of wrestling this week. Technically, the week of technically it counts as last week, right?
Right.
Yeah. So last week the what was it? The week of the 16th, I guess. The ending of the 16th. That past week.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, whatever. 16th, 17th, whatever. First thing that comes to mind is we've been a fan of ECW, the real ECW, not like the watered down version of it.
Not the PG version.
Yeah, not the PG version of ECW. But this past week was the 25th anniversary of ECW's Barely Legal, their first pay-per-view. And I must say, I remember this because I didn't watch it when they originally released it. I watched it when it came out on DVD.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say it was a few years after that, not even like right after it came out. I watched it because I had a friend that had the DVDs or whatever, and I was like, "Ooh, I've never seen this before," because I was watching wrestling back then. I was watching WWE stuff, and I was like, "Okay, I want to see what else is out there," because it was like, "Oh, it's hardcore. There's blood. There's boobies and stuff," and I was like,
there was some. It was definitely a rated R kind of experience.
Absolutely, it was completely rated R because what I remember back in the day, especially, was that ECW was always coming on TV at like 2:00 in the morning on MSG.
Yeah,
I'm right? I'm not bugging about that.
I think it was the MSG network.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, I gotta stay up to watch this. Granted, people do that now for like New Japan and stuff like that. But back then, this was like the indie that nobody really knew about, especially like big WWE or WWF fans back then. This was the new alternative. And it was amazing.
It was something very different.
Yeah.
It was very like farmhouse. Like the just backyard stuff.
Yeah. Like backyard stuff in an arena.
Yes.
Which was fucking fantastic. I fucking loved everything about it. I was like, yo, this is fucking great. And from this, we got so many people that we know of today and we think about today that are like kind of like the ones that have formed what we enjoy about wrestling, and it's the attitude of it, the I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do for this because we love this career, this thing that we decided to get into.
Yeah.
And some of the people is like the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon, two of like one of the greatest tag teams of all time, in my opinion.
Oh,
granted,
100%.
There are others. There are other great tag teams of all time, but the Dudley Boys from the early '90s or the late '90s,
they were monsters.
They were insanely good.
And like, the Dudley Boys had like a ridiculous family at one point.
Yeah,
like they just kept adding another member of Dudleyville.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think they had like 10 members at one point.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Yeah, it was insane, and I was like,
Hmm.
yo, these dudes are like the shit, and I fucking love them. I was like,
Oh yeah.
yes, I especially when I was younger, like I always thought of myself kind of like a Bubba Ray
Okay.
because I was always the big dude with glasses.
Hmm.
Technically, still the big dude with glasses, but that really hasn't changed much. But I was like, yo, like you at that point, you never really saw a big dude that kind of looked like you. Well, a big dude that looked like me, because the only big dudes that were there back in the day that I remember was who, fucking Yokozuna was fucking massively huge, nothing like me, and he was also Asian and shit. Um, I don't think I'm Asian, but did it look like me? Did it feel like me? Did it sound like me? Um, who else was the other one? Fucking George the Animal Steel, another big dude.
Yeah.
That was fantastic in the ring too, but again, not like me because you never heard him say really much.
Right.
He always had a mouth to talk for him.
Hmm.
Um, so seeing Bubba Ray be able to throw promos out and do solid ring work was like, yo, like I fucking love this dude. This dude is me.
And like, I mean, when he first started too, like, you know, they had given him that stutter, or he had
Mm-hmm.
given himself that stutter.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's like it's the Dudleys went on to just become iconic names throughout
Mm-hmm.
the 3 decades almost that they're doing this.
Yeah, yeah. Granted, Devon at this point can't wrestle anymore.
Right, he's one bump away from a bad day.
Right, exactly. From a bad life, pretty much
Yeah,
after that.
yeah.
Yeah. But Devon still, Bubba Ray still. Well, he goes as a bully right now. He still goes out. He takes his bumps on indie shows and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So like they're still around since I'm just gonna call it from '97 till now because I know they've done stuff before then. So it's been a good 3 decades, pretty much.
About.
Yeah. So yeah, they've been fucking fantastic. I've been a huge fan of theirs since since I saw this DVD. Since before they jumped over to the WWE WWF. Again, I keep saying WWE because of course that's the new
That's
thing
what
now.
we go by now. It's what we're kind of ingrained on saying.
Right, yeah. So that's where what's in our brains, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Uh Lance Storm, a fantastic worker. He's now one of the dudes that's in. He's one of the trainers over in Impact Wrestling right now. He went up against Rob Van Dam. We we love fucking Rob Van Dam. RVD, Rob Van Dam with the
Oh
fucking
yeah.
thumbs and shit. It's fucking fantastic, dude. He's fucking
Well,
great. Both of them had to
well,
put up a fantastic match.
I let RVD is like legend.
Yeah, he is
I
a
mean,
legend. Like he,
I
granted, he doesn't do a lot of wrestling now.
now, but yeah, but in his heyday,
Mm-hmm. He was the
like,
man.
yeah, 100%.
He was the man. Granted, he probably did some shady shit, but you know, a lot of wrestlers back then did that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it happens, unfortunately. But yeah, he was one of the first ones that I remember doing. The 5-star frog splash because I don't
Oh
remember
yeah,
many dudes doing that back then. Or
not
I
many.
could have just been like completely just overthinking it and shit, and not really noticing it. But he did it well. He did it so fucking good. He was one of those high flyers that actually made shit actually work.
Yeah, I mean the Van Terminator alone.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, literally jumping from one corner to the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean it's not a small. It's not a small. I mean, it's not a large distance, but it's also not a small distance, and you're also
Right.
high
Exactly.
up, and you're gonna just toss your entire body
Mm-hmm.
carelessly with safety,
Yeah.
and and crash a chair or a trash can into the opponent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about balls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about
Exactly.
cojones right there.
Yeah. Big ones. Big ones. And he put his life on the line for it, dude. Like that's some shit that like you have to know what you're doing in order to
Oh yeah,
jump that far. Because granted, it's what, like a 16 by 16 ring.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the rings are 16 by 16. Some of them are a little bit smaller, some of them are a little bit bigger. But the average size of the rings are about 16 by 16. And you're technically jumping 16 feet to across.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a huge distance.
That's
That's literally like you're jumping
hmm.
what, 3 of me or 2.5 of me, because I'm what,
Mm-hmm.
6'1". So 2 of
Yeah.
me and yeah, 2.5 me.
Yeah.
So it's fucking insane. It's fucking crazy to think
It,
about that. Like
it
in those terms.
it's like you, me, and one of my kids.
Right. Exactly. So it's crazy to think about that shit. The fact
Yeah.
that they would do that on a weekly basis.
On a weekly basis, show after show.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
Yeah. One of my favorite matches on this card was fucking Taz versus Sabu.
Young Taz was nuts, but young Sabu was crazier.
Yeah. Yeah. Both of them were fucking insane back then. Taz, the fucking suplex machine, and Sabu was fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly going at it, constantly fucking just a brawl, all out brawl.
What was one of the things he used to do? Was it like he used to put a chair in the middle of the ring and run across it outside the ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He he basically used to springboard off the chair and usually do like kind of like a leg drop in a way.
Right. Like, holy hell.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Taz with the Tazplex and the Taz mission. Fantastic.
Fantastic fucking times.
Hell yeah. And then we see Tommy Dreamer there for the first time. I don't remember seeing Tommy Dreamer before this.
Yeah,
Great.
that was my first time watching Dreamer.
Yeah. He came out and he did came out basically to do a commentary with Joey Styles back then.
Mm-hmm.
He was wrestling, of course, but this was also one of those times that he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this for now." Then it was the first time that I actually even saw Terry Funk. He is hardcore. He's basically been in hardcore for a long fucking time. He's been on the indies forever.
He's also one of those people where if he could, he'd still wrestle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure, like, what is he, like 80 now?
He's old as fuck right now, dude.
Well, like, I'm sure if like Mick Foley's like, "Hey, you want to take a bump?" He'd be like, "Yeah." It can literally kill me, but fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. But he actually like him and Mick. I was of course on the Twitters and stuff. And Mick posted a picture with him recently, like in the last couple of days.
Wasn't he Chainsaw Charlie at one point too?
Yeah.
And it's like his fucking crazy days.
Mm-hmm. Well, pretty much all of his days. So
I was gonna say that crazy days, like Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or any day that ended in day.
Yeah. Kind of like Mick Foley had like all this different altered personalities and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Little Mankind and fucking Caddyshack, Dude Love. Yeah. It's fantastic, dude.
Remember when he came? I mean, the only other real WWE talk we'll say is like, remember when he did? He entered the Royal Rumble 3 times.
Yeah,
he entered as Mankind, then he entered as Cactus, and he entered as Dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's great. Only Foley.
Exactly. Only Foley. And then Terry Funk had 2 matches that night. He went up against Steve Richards with the BWO. Remember the BWO? The Blue World Order?
Yep, with the blue meanie.
Yes, the blue meanie. Yeah, but it was Stevie Richards, the Sandman, and Terry Funk. Terry Funk wound up winning that match. and then he went up against Raven for the ECW World Championship.
Okay.
Yeah. That was
Raven
another
was
match.
excellent in his heyday too.
Yeah, he was fucking great. He was fucking great back then. He was even great when he wound up in fucking like WCW for a while. He was really good. And then he kind of dabbled in WWE for a little bit, or WWE again. Yeah, in the E, I'm gonna say, or the F. He dabbled there for a little bit too, but that didn't really go anywhere.
It didn't pan out for him.
Yeah, it didn't work out for him the way it did in the other two. Because of course it was a lot more mainstream. You know, WCW was, yes, it was World Championship Wrestling, but it was like the number two to the WWF back then.
Oh yeah.
So like when you went to WWF, it was like, oh yeah, this guy that had this gimmick over there it doesn't really work over here because it was a lot more mainstream.
Right.
So that kind of sucked. But overall, it was a great fucking pay-per-view. And the fact that like people still quote it today and people look at these matches today, it's one of those things that's basically stuck in people's minds. And people are like, yo, oh, we don't remember ECW having blood like that. Yeah, if you really look at it, a lot of ECW matches had a lot of fucking blood.
Oh yeah,
like, yeah, like we saw what was it, last week or whatever. Somebody was complaining about these bloody matches or whatever. Oh, why do these companies show so much blood? Like, yeah, they've been doing it for fucking decades. This is not new, people. Blood is not new.
No, it's not.
Yeah, people cutting or doing just a little gash, then make it pump. They don't. That's not something that's new. That's been around for fucking ages.
Many years.
Yeah.
Many generations.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised to see who has done it. You shouldn't be surprised to see who's done it because everybody has. No matter how much they don't want them to, you don't think they would.
Just wrestlers in the '80s. Look at them now with their leather foreheads.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at Ric Flair.
Yep. Ric Flair. Ric fucking Flair, dude.
Flair and Hogan used to be like Crimson Masks every other fucking match.
Yep. Yeah.
Especially at pay-per-view.
Yep. And that was what drew people in. Not even stories, because back then there wasn't a lot of stories. Back then, it wasn't about entertainment. It was just about it wasn't entertainment, but it was the wrestling that was the entertaining part, not just like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a whole story going on. We're gonna have a husband and wife that are gonna wind up breaking up because of this other lady that's in another team or whatever.
Yeah. It's what all this storyline bullshit now.
Yeah,
it's like it became a really bad cheesy soap opera.
It really did. But you know what it is? You know what, that soap opera stuff is kind of what draws us in after a while.
I was gonna say it sucks you. It sucks you in because you're like, yeah, sure, there's wrestling matches, but I got to know what happened more with this plot. And like, what do you mean? Like, I gotta wait till next week to hope to see another little bit.
Yeah.
It's like,
let's see how this plot unfurls.
Yeah, it's like look at all those times that Jericho teased his return to the company.
Yeah.
There was his first return where he had his short hair and the light up vest. And then the promos, the vignettes after that, where he was a complete heel and like for like 3 weeks ran around the ring just laughing and didn't say a fucking word.
Yep.
And it's like all those crazy fucking vignettes going on. What does it do? It sucks you into the story. And then, it's funny we said we weren't going to talk about WWE. But anyway, this is what wrestling does. It brings out your thoughts on whether it be good or bad creative. But then if you look at this whole I am WWE, I am anonymous bullshit that never went anywhere.
Yeah.
With the stalker guy that like everybody was assuming it was going to be Punk, and there were screen caps that, if you look online, it's like, yeah, that's him. And then what happened? Nothing took
Nope.
place. There were never any talks about that. And then if you go back and watch CM Punk's return to pro wrestling at AEW in September of last year, when he said, "Why would I go back to a place that made me sick in the first place?" And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh yeah, yeah, so that'll
Yeah.
never happen." And you
Yeah,
know
no.
what? Fuck him. He's better off.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and wasn't the person that was that anonymous person, wasn't that supposed to be Mustafa Ali that is trying to get the fuck out of there?
Yeah.
And he's been denied to get out of there?
Every other week, it's like, I want to leave this company, and they're like,
Right, but
no.
they just keeping him there.
It's so stupid. The man hasn't wrestled in almost a full year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, why are you keeping him there on your payroll if you're not gonna fucking use him?
Mm-hmm.
Let him leave. Do
Yeah,
your fucking
exactly.
90-day bullshit.
Yeah.
Let him just sit on his ass for another 90 days, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not like he's being used.
Yeah, because they're not doing anything with him at all.
No,
They're just giving him money.
they're basically saying, we're paying you to sit down. We don't care anymore. You're not one of us, or whatever bullshit. And it's like,
That's exactly what they're doing.
it's so fucked, because he's a fucking talented wrestler with good mic skill. And
Yep, he's real good.
It's just like, oh yeah, just gonna just not have you wrestle, but we're not gonna release you from the company because we're gonna be that way. And it's like, why?
Yeah, it's like being in a really bad relationship, like a
Yeah.
very bad, like a very very toxic relationship.
It's like they're not letting the divorce go through.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I can't have you, but nobody else will.
Right.
Yeah.
Which,
Sad.
how is that? How is that fair? You're wasting his fucking.
Wasting potential.
Yeah, and like you're chipping away and withering away his ring life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you're only having as much time as you're allowed with nature.
Yeah.
And the second you take your first bump, your whole body is changing.
Mm-hmm.
You're never the same from that first bump.
Yeah, no, never, ever.
And it's just like, this guy's young and he's good, and they're not letting him go.
Yeah.
Like,
But the good thing is that like he's not really getting a lot of ring rust because he's training all the time.
Yeah,
which is what a constant professional should do.
Yeah, but like, just let him go.
Yeah.
Release him.
Mm-hmm.
Let him do whatever for the 90.
Yeah.
And then let him go wherever the fuck he wants to.
Yeah, exactly.
Because whether it be AEW or Impact or New Japan or whatever, they see talent that they think is really worth it, and they'll bring them in with open arms.
Yeah. Or even just the indies, because he has a huge name that can make tons of money on the indies.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are indie wrestlers out there that only do the indies. Yeah. And they make bank because they're so good at what they do.
Truth.
Like, you don't need to be like on the big screen. You gotta work like a motherfucker, but it's doable.
Yeah.
But yeah, this week we had the 25th anniversary of ECW's Buried the Eagle. It was fucking fantastic. Not the absolute best type of pay-per-view for its time, but compared to now, obviously not the best.
Compared to now.
Yeah, but still a solid pay-per-view for the time. And then some other shit that came out for this week. Some sad shit, actually. Somebody that I personally met him, I'm going to say like about 10 years ago at New York Comic Con.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I think we met at the same time.
I think we did.
Virgil, who was Ted DiBiase's bodyguard, I guess, back then.
His bodyguard.
Yeah, he was his bodyguard or whatever. That went solo after a while, And he did a lot of shit at WWE. WWE, yeah, WWF that turned into WWE back then. But he did a lot of stuff with them back then. He was good. He was great. But what sucks is that uh, since Mania, he was pretty. Just recently saw that since Mania, he basically wasn't feeling good and stuff like that, and he went to go check. He got checked out, and it turns out that he has like early stages of dementia.
Yeah.
Which is fucking sad, dude.
It was apparently caused by like 2 strokes that he suffered.
Yeah.
Which he didn't realize that he was going through a stroke.
Mm-hmm. And that's some sad shit, dude. You think everything's fine, and then some shit just comes in, just hits you like a bag of fucking bricks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, once you know that, okay, yeah, I got dementia, and you start reading up and you're like, fuck, like this is like the end all be all of a lot of things because you forget shit.
Mm-hmm.
You forget everything. You forget your people. You forget your loved ones. You're just like, fuck, what am I gonna do with my life? Or what has been of my life? Because at that point, you're just like, fuck, like I don't know anything anymore.
Yeah.
And it's fucking sad, dude.
1 minute you can know everybody, and the next minute you think they're somebody completely different that you've seen in your life.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking sad, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like so like he recently posted basically that he's gonna need help. He's gonna need financial help because of course they're all independent contractors, so they don't have 401ks and shit for being a wrestler.
Right.
But he of course needs help, so he has an app or whatever, like a video game on the platforms and stuff, and he also has a PayPal and stuff, so you can like donate to him and stuff. But keep Virgil in mind.
Seriously,
he's one of those dudes that helped pretty much. He helped us in our youth pretty much to get entertained, enjoy the wrestlings and stuff, because we like wrestlings now because of a lot of things that he did back then.
Yeah.
So it's sad shit. You said you had one more thing for the news for this week, right?
Oh yeah. I'm blanking. It's all the it's.
Oh yes, it was a birthday. Sick. It was a birthday for this week.
Ah yes.
Yes.
Roddy Piper would have been 68 today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sad shit, dude. I used to love fucking Roddy Piper.
And I liked him not just wrestling. I liked him when he just would randomly show up and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Of course, how can we not love They Live?
Of course.
He was just a fun person. I used to like when he would randomly show up on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
To see what the next guy is like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was good.
Truthfully, one of my favorite moments on wrestling for Piper was when he sprayed Morton Downey with the fucking fire extinguisher years back.
Oh yeah.
That was my first introduction to Piper.
Yeah.
I was at my friend's place, and that was on, and I remember just going like, "This is funny."
Yeah.
Because I didn't know who Morton Downey was. I just knew like, okay, he's a loudmouth talk show guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then like to have Piper just do that, I was like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was good shit back then.
And then, of course, there's the infamous coconut incident with Snuka, which, can we talk about Snuka because of
all the shit that he did? Yeah,
because
we could because he still was a good performer. He was still a good wrestler.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of black clouded because of
because of all the other shit that went down.
The murder.
Yeah. But then again, can we still talk about Chris Benoit? Like, he was another fucking fantastic wrestler that's, of course, had his life tarnished pretty much because he went out and fucking suicide everybody over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like, Do you really
with
want
the
to talk about him, or do you really want to talk
with
about Snuka? It doesn't really matter.
with the never ending theories on that it wasn't murder suicide, that it
Right.
was just murder, or
Yeah.
no, or but not homicide. I mean, but
Yeah.
no one will know. I mean, the evidence is evidence that we're never gonna see.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So that's it, pretty much, for, I guess, this week in wrestling history. That sounds about right, right?
Yeah,
Kinda,
that's about it.
sorta. This
That's it.
week in the
Yeah.
news, whatever, whatever. We're all over the place with it anyway. We're just getting a drift of the show as is. So this is only episode 3. Um, so I guess we could talk about the recent stuffs for this week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this week, of course, it's mostly AEW stuff because AEW was the solid performer this week. Period.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Not that we're just marks. It's just the fact that, like, we just know where the good shit is. Like, there wasn't really much that came out of the other place that um really grabbed our attention.
It's true.
Yeah, like the stories weren't good. Like I think, like we mentioned earlier, like the stories weren't good, and it just wasn't nothing worth even talking about it. Not even like them actually building up to something 2 weeks ago to nothing now.
Yep.
Yeah, but whatever. Um, so we had AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, which was a, from beginning to end, a fantastic fucking non pay per view event, live TV, regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking fantastic, dude. What were some of your favorite parts of Dynamite?
Uh, to be honest, I didn't. I watched it, but I also was like not fully into it because my kids were sick this week.
Okay, that's right, okay, so one of my favorite moments, of course, was Wardlow showing up for during the MJF match. MJF was going up against Sean Dean, the person
That
that
that's
beat
right.
him,
That's right.
without really beating him,
Oh,
because it
that's right.
was
He beat him via countout.
yeah, no, he originally beat him by DQ. It was one of
Oh,
the
okay.
first
Okay.
DQs for AEW because they don't really do DQs because DQs are kind of ridiculous. Like, why the fuck are we
Yeah.
doing a disqualification when, like, you could clearly just keep fucking wrestling?
Right.
But because that's one thing that I do enjoy about the AEW is that they don't really go. They have the rules, but they kind of bend the rules a little bit because yeah, like, oh yeah, that's no disqualification. There's disqualifications, but they're like, yeah, we didn't see that. Just keep on.
Right. Right.
Because you don't want to just stop a match when it's like in the middle of something like it's really fucking good. It's a good story
Mm-hmm.
going on. There's good back and forth. And you just don't want to stop because you saw somebody, give somebody a low blow.
It just like how you don't stop a match. Oh, they're bleeding. Remember that one
Right.
years
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that one. Ugh. Why? Why would you stop it? Granted, I get it. You want to have a PG show, but no,
Mm-hmm.
dude.
No.
No. Let them fight. Yeah. But yeah, the and then the fact that the stipulation is pretty much that, like, uh MJF doesn't want Wardlow to do anything after the last pay per view, that he was just like, oh, like, he came out with the diamond ring or whatever
Yeah.
during the MJF Punk match, the what was it, the chain match or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, the dog collar. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And he came out and he was basically like, yeah, I'm not gonna give you the fucking ring. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, he's pretty much been like, yo, like, fuck you, Wardlow. And then, but
Yeah.
Wardlow's also been like, yo, fuck you, because I want to fucking do my own thing. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to just be your lackey anymore.
Right.
And within the last week or so, or couple weeks, MJF was pretty much like, yo, like, we're not gonna release you from your contract, which is something that we just spoke about it previously. In the last little segment.
Yeah.
They're kind of going with that storyline over here now too, because they're just like, we're not gonna. He's like, I'm not gonna release you. I'm just gonna fucking have you fight whoever the fuck I want you to fight. But before that, he was pretty much like the last couple weeks. He's just been running in, pretty much fucking up all of their security, quote unquote. It's not really security. It's a bunch of like jobbers or whatever that are there. But he's just running through them, and it's fun to watch him just throw people around.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it bad that I think that way?
No.
I don't think so. But it's fucking hilarious because you want him. You're at this point you're invested in his full character as far as a babyface, because you kind of saw it coming, and you're like, fuck, I want this to happen, especially when he's such a good performer with another good performer, but that's a complete dick bag. Like MJF is an asshole, but he's a good fucking performer. Like he's a good fucking wrestler.
Absolutely.
And he's kayfabe like a motherfucker too.
That's one of the best things about him.
Yeah. Like he brings that gimmick everywhere. Yeah. Which I fucking love it. I love it. I love his character, and the fact that he's pretty much denying him his release is fucking great. Because now he has to fight the Butcher next week. The Butcher's another dude that's like, like I like him. First off, he's the guitarist of Every Time I Die, which is a fantastic band. But he's also like, within the last few weeks, he's changed up the way that he looks. He's slimmed down. He's gotten cut up. He's gotten into like fucking fantastic fucking shape. And I'm like, like he can fucking do the thing, dude. He's really damn good. But that was real fun. It was a real fun match. And then of course Sean Dean wound up winning the match because at this one it was by count out. And what sucks is that MJF was trying to fucking was trying to get Bryce Rumberg to stop the count out or whatever. And he was like, I'll give you three times the amount that Tony Khan is paying you. And he was like, shit. And like, nah, fuck you. You can't do that. That's just wrong. Because then everybody's gonna want to get paid off. And that was funny. That was a real cool like switch on things. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was real fun. Then we had what was the other thing that was on there? Something that I was actually really looking forward to on Dynamite was the Jericho Appreciation Society against Eddie Kingston and Santana Ortiz.
That was a really good match.
That was a really fun match. It was a really fun match because it was a bit of a brawl, but at the same time it wasn't a brawl because they followed tag team rules, like tag wrestling rules, as far as we're just gonna fight everything everywhere, but we're still gonna tag in and keep going with the rules at the same time. It was really good. It was a really good match. And then of course I like what they did previously before they match even started, when they with Santana Ortiz pretty much and Eddie Kingston took the shoes and they beat up fucking 2.0. Fucking hilarious. Which is they did the same thing previously. They stole the Bucks. Eddie Kingston stole the Bucks shoes.
Right.
Yeah, and they did it again. I was like, yay! I love it. We keep it in hood, keeping it gangster, dude. I fucking loved it. But the match was pretty good. What I didn't like was, of course, the sports entertainer and fucking what's his face? Daniel Garcia. Uh, he rolled up Santana for the pin
Yeah.
from behind because, of course, they had I think it was Aubrey was the ref. They had her distracted, and then he got the pin. Sad, but that just shows you that the story will keep going.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with this. I'm excited to see where they're. I'm gonna say it like I want to see them come back with LAX, Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz, and bring in fucking Diamante. Like Diamante's really good, and she's been pretty much stuck in dark for the last since her tag partner pretty much got kicked out of AEW with Winston and Rolling came over. Yeah, but that was good. The other awesome match on Dynamite was fucking Keith Lee and Swerve versus was it Ricky Starks and Hobbs. Another fucking fantastic match. You don't really see Keith Lee do tag wrestling very often.
No, not at all.
But both of these two work together so fucking well. Like, I was like, yo, we need to see this more often.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, Keith Lee doesn't like doing tag team wrestling. He doesn't like having a tag team partner. He wants to do the thing solo. And I get it because that's what he's done. That's what he's done. That's what he's all about. He's limitless, but his limit is tag team wrestling. But I liked it. I liked this back and forth. Their back and forth was really good. I like that Swerve did what was it if I can he jumped off of Keith Lee's chest to jump on Starks and Hobbs on the outside.
Right.
Springboard, that's the word. Springboarded off of him to get like a what was it? I think it was a crossbody on the outside.
Yeah, I think it was too.
It was fucking fantastic. It was so fucking fun. I like Swerve, and I'm really enjoying Swerve. First off, like
me too. He's great on the mic. The energy all around him is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the the in-ring work is just pure energy and fire.
Fantastic, dude. He's fucking great.
Like he's just so athletic that it's such a shame that he was really not used in the E.
Yeah.
And didn't I tell you that night too? Didn't I tell you that like this is what Kofi should be doing?
Yeah, it really is.
They have a very similar build and they have a very similar athleticism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they absolutely. They're both really quick and they know what they're doing. They are really good at ring.
And they're also safe workers.
Yeah. Yeah. Granted, Kofi's been around for a lot longer than Swerve.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Kofi's been around quite some time.
Yeah. I think going on like almost 15 years over in the E.
At least 15, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking insane, dude. But yeah, Swerve is really damn good. He knows his ring. He knows his style. Like the fact that he's screaming out, whose house is this or whatever, whose house? And like, yo, it's fucking Swerve's house, dude. Like you can fucking do the thing, dude.
The man literally just recently signed with the company and was already telling people whose house.
Yeah.
And the energy was just like, yeah, we know whose house this is.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, because I saw some of his stuff before AEW when he was on the Indies because I saw him go against the young kid that just got recently signed to AEW.
Okay.
Nick something or whatever.
Yeah.
I saw that match and I was like, yo, like he's really damn good. But now seeing him on TV, it's like, wow, he just puts that much more effort into it.
He's a draw for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely, he's a great fucking draw. Like I am,
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for the swerves. He's fucking good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another match that was on fucking Dynamite that was fucking fantastic was fucking what? What was the other match?
We had the Bucks versus FTR.
That was last week.
That was last week. Yeah, see, this is what
Yes.
happens when I'm sick.
No, but another really good match was the main event was my favorite one actually, which was Minoru Suzuki against who was it? Samoa Joe for the ROH title, ROH TV title.
Right. That's what the yeah.
That was a fantastic fucking slap fight.
Oh yeah, it was
Because
like
for a good chunk of it, they were literally smacking the shit out of each other.
mm-hmm.
And you can tell on both of their faces and their chest that they were going at it hard.
Yeah, there
Samoa
was no
Joe's chest was purple by the time they were done with the match.
there there was no punch pulling in that.
No, there wasn't.
But
That was like legit
it
strong
goes to show you
style.
that how much these guys know each other that they're like just do it.
Mm-hmm. And it was a great match.
Oh, absolutely it was.
Like, I'm kind of sad that Minoru Suzuki didn't get to
Really defend it.
defend it very much. He only had the one match to win it, and the
And the
next
one
match he
match to
lost
drop
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was sad because Minoru Suzuki is he's technically a fucking legend, dude. Like he's been around for a long ass time, and
Oh, absolutely.
he's trained so many wrestlers. He's shown a lot of wrestlers what's going on. So it's sad to see that they pretty much dropped him. They didn't drop him, but like he didn't really hold on to the title for very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I get it. Samoa Joe is the one dude that hasn't really. That was the only title that he haven't had from the ROH. He's had both the regular title and the pure championship as well. So
Right.
so just having now he's pretty much had all three titles. It's like, okay, yeah, now you can cross that off your fucking list. Because one of the things that he wanted to do when he came over to AEW was like, yo, like I want all the fucking belts. He said it like in his first interview. He's like, I want all the fucking belts. Give me them all, because I want to be a collector like FTR. FTR collecting belts. I want to collect belts too. And I'm not against it, dude. I'll take it. I'll fucking take it. Super fun match. Like I said, like Minoru Suzuki's fucking great. It's fucking sad that he didn't really get a chance to shine with the ROH title, but that's cool because he can shine in so many other places because he still has he's still like the forbidden door pretty much. He's everywhere. He's
I'd
on
like to see.
Impact.
I want to see Joe versus Punk.
Yeah, I would love to see that again because they fought before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to see that. But we'll see. Because I know Punk wants, but I think he wants the AEW championship. I don't think he wants the ROH championship right now.
Yeah, no, I think he wants the AEW champ.
Yeah. Because yeah, like I was already ROH champion. Do I really want it again? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. But yeah, those were like the top matches for Dynamite last week. Then we had Rampage, another fucking fantastic fucking Rampage. Which had what was the main thing on there was the fucking Texas Death Match for the AEW championship, the AEW title or whatever.
Oh, right, there was Page versus Cole.
Yeah, Page versus Cole, of course. They're continuing with their saga about who's better than who. And what we've seen so far is that Hangman is really good at fucking hardcore matches.
Yep.
Every hardcore match that he's had so far, he's pretty much like, yo, I got this. I'm gonna take care of it. And I'm gonna win it because I'm that damn good, and he is. Like for a while, I was like, yeah, like I don't think he could do it. He could pull it off, but he's he's showing me otherwise, and I'll take it. I'm like, yo, like give me more fucking him just beating the fuck out of people because I enjoy him doing it. Because you don't see him do it very often, unfortunately. Like he doesn't have many title matches, and I get it because you don't want to wear out your main seller either. But but yeah, it was good. It was dope. But my favorite match on Rampage was actually the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Ass Boys and Mr. Ass.
The BCC has been one of my favorite things on TV lately.
Yeah, they technically like somebody, I think you said, or somebody said it before. The BCC is gonna be the next big thing in wrestling. They're gonna be like the next NWO.
They remind, as I texted you earlier today, they remind me of 90s DX.
Yeah.
Original sure. DX before like Gunn and Road
yeah, before
Dogg,
everybody else. Yeah.
When it was just Michaels and Hunter, and like this is what this reminds me of.
Yep, I totally see it. I totally fucking see it. It's fucking great, dude. Fucking Moxley and Daniel Bryan are a really good fucking team together, dude.
Yeah.
They know how to work a fucking crowd. They know how to work a fucking match. They're fucking fantastic together, dude. Like I honestly would have never thought so. If they weren't like doing it now. I would have never been like, oh yeah, I want to see a tag team from them.
Right.
But now that it's there, I'm like, yeah, this was a fucking fantastic idea. Whoever thought this shit up was a fucking genius.
I feel like it was them.
It could have been. It could have been because this was also like just as fucking Regal started coming about. So it was like, yeah. So it could have been them. It could have been Tony Khan because Tony Khan, he has a mind for wrestling, obviously.
Yep.
So props to him for that shit because that shit was fucking great. And then adding at the moment so far, just adding Wheeler Yuta to this, another fantastic addition because Wheeler Yuta is, of course, he's now the pure ROH champion, which is fucking fantastic because he's really damn good in the ring. He is one of the swiftest wrestlers that I've seen in a long time. And the fact that he's only been wrestling in AEW since the pandemic started.
Yeah.
Just before the pandemic ended, he was when he made his debut in fucking AEW. Once they started getting crowds, that's when just before they started getting crowds, when he was doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I'm like, yo, like, I am sold on this dude. He's good, man. He's really damn good. And we'll talk about him a little bit more later. Well, actually, no, we can fucking talk about it now. Fucking, he is the wrestler of the week for this week. Wheeler Yuta's fucking great. Fantastic performer, fantastic wrestler, a fantastic all-around dude. Like, he deserves getting the ROH Pure Championship. And honestly, like, I want to see him with more gold because he's fucking good at what he does. He's very technical. He knows how to work the ring. He knows how to work his opponents. He can do it all. He's good on the mic too. Like, you haven't really seen a lot of him on the mic, but he has it in him to do it. And I'm excited to see where he's gonna go in wrestling. Period. Whether it's here, whether it's anywhere else, I want to see him reach for the fucking stars, dude. He's fucking great. Call me a Mark for him because he's fucking great, dude. I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. So yeah, he's the wrestler of the week. And then continuing over, of course, AEW still had another fucking match for another show for the week, and that was the Battle for the Belts 2, which they had 3 matches for the weekend for the event or whatever. It was only 1 hour, and it was actually a good 1 hour of wrestling. No real promo talk. It was just straight up like, yeah, we're just gonna fight.
That's it.
Beginning to end, nonstop. Let's go. Minor commercials here and there, of course, but you still get shit in picture in picture. Yay, picture.
Yeah,
dude, I fucking love picture in picture. The
I
fact that
do
we
too.
can watch wrestling.
I just wish the screens were
reversed.
Because,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, I mean, I get why. It's because, like, you want to see, like, the advertisements for the money side.
Yeah,
but it's like, I don't care about, like, AT&T. I want to watch wrestling.
Yeah. But the first match on the Battle for the Belts was Sammy Guevara against Scorpio Sky. I fucking love both of these dudes. Scorpio Sky is fucking fantastic. He was part of the first AEW Tag Team Champions with Christopher Daniels and SCU. They were fucking great as a tag team, and Scorpio has been doing nothing but fantastic fucking work as a solo wrestler. So fucking good. He basically was undefeated for over a year. Undefeated for over a year until this week, unfortunately.
Yep.
But he's fucking good. He's really damn good. He has that in-ring style. It's like, yo, like, he can do just about anything. Like, he's technical. He's a little bit of a high flyer. He's a brawler. He's a grappler. He does everything in the ring. And I love it about him. And then he's also a fantastic promo dude too. Like, he knows how to work a fucking promo. Not only him, but fucking Ethan Page, who's his tag. He's essentially like in the same stable. There's another dude that knows how to fucking talk. He can talk the fuck out of shit, dude.
I love Page.
Dude, his promo after the match was fucking fantastic, dude. I think I'm gonna find that shit. I'm gonna play that shit right now because that shit is fucking good. It was a great fucking promo. See, like this is what happens with my brains. Where was it? Okay, I don't think it's online. Fucking great. I don't think it's on the YouTubes. On Twitter. Boo. Yeah, it was on Twitters or whatever. But it was fucking good. It was a good promo. I'll throw it in here in the episode after in the edit, whatever. You'll hear that at the very, very end. But yeah, he's really damn good. And I'm kind of sad that Scorpio Sky isn't champ anymore. I wanted to see him be the champ for a lot longer. This is essentially the first short reign of a champ in AEW right now, right? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay, because he hasn't had a defense for it either. This was his first defense, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty sad. Like, I was like, I wanted to see him fight more people. But of course, he also was like, yeah, like I'm not doing the open door or whatever, the forbidden door. Like, fuck the forbidden door. It ends with me, he said. I think it was. But that was sad, dude. I enjoyed the Forbidden Door. Um, but now Sammy's back with the belt again. He is the first 3-time TV champion,
Yeah.
which is okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. Because Sammy's good. He's a good wrestler, dude.
He really is.
Like he's smooth. He gives no fucks. He's like, yo, I'm gonna jump off this fucking stage. I'm gonna jump off of anything and everything. And he knows he's crazy because he fucking says it himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm fucking nuts to do this, but I'm gonna do it just because he enjoys seeing people's reactions to it. And I'm like, yo, I'll take it, dude. Give it to me. Because he's fucking good. He's that good. And of course, he won the title. Unfortunately, I don't like the way he won the title though. The
Why
ref
not?
was
Oh, he's sort of distracted.
The ref was distracted, and he came from behind. Then he low blowed Scorpio Sky, and got him
Yeah.
in with a small package or whatever. Was not a fan of that because, of course, it's not that baby faces can't do that, but are they turning heel now? Is he turning heel? Could that be what's going on?
It might have been.
But yeah, because at this point, like, I guess they're trying to turn, what is it, the America's top team into a babyface faction, for what it kind of looks
Mm-hmm.
like. But because well, the thing is, like, people aren't really giving a fuck about Sammy and Ty anymore.
Yeah, it's like old news already.
Yeah, and the fact that they're like all lovey dovey all the time, they're like, we really don't give a fuck about this shit. So it's kind of the same way that it's kind of becoming the same thing that they had with fucking with Cody and Brandy.
Yeah.
It's sad to compare them because they're totally different wrestlers, totally different, a totally different thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of how it is. Like, it's like AEW, not AEW, but like the fans don't really care much for couples being together on camera. That's just how it seems for me. Because it seems
Yeah.
that whenever you have a couple that's together all the time on screen, they're like, oh yeah, no, fuck this guy, fuck this team.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't see that with Anna Jay and Jungle Boy.
No, not at all.
Because they never come out together. They never ever do anything together.
Right.
So, I don't know. I could just be talking out of my ass. But then we also don't see that with Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian. Of course, Kip Sabian has been out for almost a year now because of an injury and surgery and stuff. But Penelope Ford and him, they'd never had that issue. So I don't know. I don't know what it could be. But yeah, people are getting tired of that. I'm not tired of it because it's good storytelling right now for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Thunder Rosa and the Native Beast, Nyla Rose, in another fantastic match. It was fucking great. It was a really good match. It was a good back and forth. This was also Thunder Rosa's first defense since she won the title.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a bad defense at all.
No, it was a pretty solid match.
Yeah, because Thunder Rosa knows what she's doing in the ring. Like, she is a fantastic fucking wrestler, dude. To think that she's only been doing it for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
She's really damn good.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah, I fucking love Thunder Rosa in the ring. Like, she's really damn good. She knows what she's doing. Her character's fucking great. her performing is fucking great too. Like her promo work and stuff is really damn good. I just love it, dude. I love me some Thunder Roses. It's fucking great. Give me more Thunder Roses.
Absolutely.
Yeah. She, of course, she did not lose. So
Right. It's not her
who
time to
else?
lose, and
Yeah,
it wasn't Nyla's time to win yet.
to win again
Right.
because she was the second AEW Women's Champion.
Mm-hmm.
She won it from Riho last year.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, she's another great wrestler. Both fucking fantastic workers. Like I'm excited to see their both of their futures. And then another match, which was probably my favorite match for AEW of the week. For AEW. Notice how I say that. For AEW for this week, my favorite match for them was Jonathan Gresham and Dalton Castle for the ROH World Championship. Fucking fantastic match.
That was a great match.
I honestly, like I've told you before,
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Gresham is a fucking fantastic fucking wrestler, dude.
Watching him wrestle was sort of like a ballet with how perfect every little step was.
Yeah. He knows how to work a ring really fucking well. And is it me, or is it like a lot of these short dudes know how to work the ring very fucking well?
No, you're right.
Because if you look at him and you compare him to like a John Silver, another fantastic short ass wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is really good that's really short? Fucking Alan Angels, part of the Dark Order as well. Really damn good in ring too.
Marco Stunt.
Marco Stunt, who unfortunately isn't with AEW anymore, or I think I saw him still on the roster still, but soon to not be in AEW probably, unfortunately. But he's really good too in ring. Of course, he's not just short, but he's also very frail looking. But he's really good in the ring as well. He takes the big bumps like the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, another small one that's really good is fucking Layla Hirsch.
Yeah.
Fucking great, dude. For someone that came from an not independent, but amateur wrestling to make professional wrestling work for them. Fucking fantastic. So seeing Jonathan Gresham in ring is fucking great. Like I love watching him. He's super fucking entertaining. And I'm glad that he's now signed with AEW. Granted, he was the ROH champion, but
right.
He's now going to be pretty much performing on either ROH or AEW, whenever, pretty much. So that's going to be exciting to see. I want to see where that's going to go. Because of course I want to see what they're going to do with the ROH title and how they're going to make this work. And that's it for those shows. But one other show that's actually my favorite, absolute favorite match of the week was not only did we have AEW and of course we had the WWE stuff, but this week we also had New Japan's Pro Wrestling's Windy City Riot. So it was New Japan going over to I think it was Chicago or whatever, holding pay-per-view, and the main event, the whole card was really damn good, fantastic match. a lot of AEW wrestlers were in there, which is kind of where the whole news that AEW and New Japan are kind of having a little bit of a crossover. There's going to be having a lot of a crossover very soon. The first match was actually the Nightmare Factory, or the Factory that they call themselves. QT Marshall, Iron Solo, and Nick Camarado against the LA Dojo, which is the New Japan Dojo or whatever, the New Japan Factory, pretty much. That was a fantastic match too. Like QT Marshall, he is a hell of a fucking heel, but he played it off so well. Like he knows how to put people over. I love it, dude. I love QT Marshall. He's really fucking good. Or QT Marshall, as you're supposed to be calling him. He's really damn good. So that was a good match. But my favorite match of the entire pay-per-view was Will Ospreay going up against Jon Moxley. Such a good fucking match. Unfortunately, I did not like that it was only a 20-minute match because I wanted more. This was the first time of me seeing Will Ospreay in ring, and I must say, he lives up to the hype. He still is. I think it's the British and New Japan Wrestling champion or something like that. Because New Japan has different titles in pretty much everywhere. But he holds one of the titles because of course they have like a bazillion titles over there. But he's really good, and I was like, okay, I want to see what he's about because, of course, for the reason that they're having this match is because Jon Moxley was like, yo, like, I will fight anybody, and he was like, yo, like, I'll do it, I'll fight you, and he brought it, dude. It started from just as Moxley was coming out to the ring. He was like, yo, let's fucking go. So he ran out from the ring. He ran out because, you know, Jon Moxley always comes through the crowd. He did the same thing here. And he was like, yo, let's fucking go in the crowd before you even come to the ring. Let's just start it. And then just start going at it in the crowd.
That's dope.
For like a good 3 minutes in the middle of the crowd before making their way into the ring and actually getting the bell. Great fucking opening for the match. And then amazing back and forth between both of them. Will Ospreay completely blew me away with his ring style. He's like Moxley, but with the high flying mixed all together with grappling and everything. He is quintessentially like the perfect wrestler. He is really, really damn good in ring. And like, I want to see him go up against anybody in AEW. But not only just that, I want to see him against Jon Moxley again in a longer match.
Yeah.
Give it 30 minutes. Give it 45. Give it an hour. I want to see this again. Because it is so damn good. And for 20 minutes, it's like I got blue balls from watching this match. I was like, yo, this shit was so fucking good. It was really damn good. Like, I enjoyed the fuck out of it. It went to the bell. Because Jon Moxley wound up getting the pin as they were like, yo, like, the 20 minutes is up. fucking fantastic back and forth. I know I showed you a few minutes of it.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you think of the few minutes that you saw?
I thought it was great. I would have enjoyed it better not being sick, but
Right.
yeah, I thought it was great. But I'm excited to see hopefully more of this.
Yeah, for sure. Because it is definitely worth a pay-per-view purchase for this. Just for that match. Because it is a high quality match. I'm all in on fucking Will Ospreay. Like I want to see more of his stuff. Like whether it's older stuff or indie stuff. I want to see where he's from. I want to see because he's British or whatever. He's of course he's good. No, not just because British people are good, but a lot of them are actually like
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly enough, you know. Um, but he's good. Like look at fucking William Regal. He was fucking great back in the day. Like I want to see what else this dude got. Like especially for him to be the champion that I never knew about. I want to see it. I want to see his come ups. I want to see where he started, how he started. Um, what are some of his fantastic matches? Like, what are his best matches? What are his worst matches? I want to see it all. I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited for it.
Yeah, me
Um,
too.
I want this. Like, I'm a fan of Will Ospreay now. Like, I want I want to see more. I want to see more. Um, but that was like my favorite overall match of the week. Fucking fantastic match. Great back and forth. A lot of heavy hitting, which I love. I love that strong style stuff. Really good. Also, another Crimson Mask. Moxley loves fucking bleeding in ring. I love seeing it. So damn good. So fucking good. Cannot wait for Osprey versus Moxley again. Cannot wait. I'm still repping the Moxley shirt right now too because I fucking love it.
Nice.
Um, and that was it for the best shit of the week for us. Um, now, unfortunately, leads us to the worst shit of the week. The biggest worst shit of the week was after um,
It was after
Samoa
Samoa
Joe
Joe
won.
won.
After Samoa Joe won, uh, they were like, "Oh yeah, there's a lot more shit coming, so we're gonna extend the 10 o'clock time or whatever. We're gonna keep going."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be a lot more. The match is gonna go a lot longer." And it went probably like 2 more minutes extra, which
Yeah,
is fine,
I think
whatever.
I think I happened to look at my phone at 10:02.
Yeah. And then we get Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dup, who both were at the ROH Supercard together because this is when uh, Jay Lethal turned heel at that point, which I told you about.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so they're both together. They were like at the Supercard. They were like, "Oh, like we're gonna have a present for you." Uh, come Dynamite because even at that point they were like, "Oh, like you're gonna go. Samoa Joe's gonna go against Minoru Suzuki at Dynamite." So you see them in like outside the ring before the match or during the match, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got the present for you or whatever." And they come to the right in front of the ring, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got your present," and they do the dick in the box. Technically not a dick in the
Mm-hmm.
box, but they pull out their middle fingers. And like, oh yeah, haha, this is what we got for you.
Right.
And then the lights go out. We're like, oh shit, somebody big is coming. And then we're like, oh shit, because the lights come back on. Somebody big came, but nobody really knew who he was.
I when the lights went out, I was like, "Oh shit, House of Black."
Right,
Like a new member maybe,
right.
but I mean because there's, a lot of wrestlers that are they're free from their 90 days and they're ready to come back, and
Mm-hmm.
there's people that happen to happen to just leave, when the contract expired, such as the artist formerly known as Cesaro.
Yeah.
It could have been anybody, but no, it was, it was what it was.
It was
I'll let you
Satnam
continue.
Singh. It was Satnam Singh who wasn't in the. He was the first NBA draft, the first
Mm-hmm.
NBA draft from India. So he's a big 7-footer. Well, I think it was what, 7'4" or something like that. He's a
He's
massive
a big,
fucking dude.
he's a big guy.
He's a massive fucking dude. Kind of like Andre the Giant, big, fucking Great Khali, big, huge motherfucker. Shows up in ring, starts throwing people around. But of course, it was a kind of a shitty introduction to this guy because we don't know who the fuck he is.
Right.
Especially the viewers. The viewers don't know who the fuck is, especially people that don't pay attention to the dirt sheets like a lot of other people do. Like we do. Like after I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, that's the guy from the NBA that they've been planning on signing or getting over here. And I had told you before, like one of the guys that was in my chapter, he knew him personally.
Right.
He was one that told me like, yo, like this guy just got signed, and I know him, and like we're real cool friends with him. I'm like, oh, that's fucking dope, that's awesome. And then we see him in ring, and I'm like, okay. There was no build for him. There was no like, oh yeah, this guy is coming. We're gonna have him here. Like we always saw was months ago. They were like, yo, we signed this guy, and that's it. We didn't hear
And that's it.
anything. And that's it.
No
That's all we heard.
vignettes. No nothing.
No nothing. And I get it. AEW is not the company that does all the vignettes and stuff like that because, of course, you don't want to just throw some random dude out there, or
Right.
bring have a lot of build for somebody that's never going to come through. But it was kind of like a shitty way to end an amazing show.
Yeah.
Like it was up here. It was like an A+
It was at the top,
show,
and then it just slowly became a C+.
I wouldn't even call. I wouldn't say it was that bad. It wasn't like C, like drop that bad. I'll say like about a B. It goes from an A+ to like a B. Like okay.
Okay.
Because like he looks like he knows what he's doing. He looks like he has been practicing and he's been working for a while and getting to know the ring and stuff like that.
He looked better in ring than when Khali came out for the first time.
Right. And
So,
it was sad. It was sad to see that opening.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see him come out maybe mid show.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, there's not the build, but mid show would have been like, holy shit, he's here.
Right.
But you wait till the show's basically over.
Mm-hmm.
Credits are rolling. If this had credits.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, look at that.
Like, oh yeah, this guy. Who's this guy? Who the fuck is this? Why is he here?
Mm-hmm.
But they made up for it on Rampage because he walked out after the Jonathan Gresham match with Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt. They walked out together, which made more sense. Jay Lethal being a 2-time ROH champion previously,
Mm-hmm.
having this guy come out. Of course, we all know that Jay Lethal's turned heel. This dude is coming out together with him, and you're like, oh yeah, this big dude is coming with this guy to fight this other guy. That right there makes sense.
Yes.
You bring him into the ring, and then he pretty much decimates everybody in the ring, including Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I like where this is going now.
Mm-hmm.
They should have just waited to release him on Rampage
Or even Saturday.
or even Saturday. But they kind of jumped the gun on Dynamite for that. Granted, yes, I am not a wrestling writer. I am not Tony Khan. I have no say in anything, obviously. But his second debut was better than his first. And yeah, now I am excited to see where he's gonna go. I'm also excited to see who the fuck he's gonna be fighting against, because nobody is that massive in AEW.
I mean, the only name that really comes to mind, well, two names that come to mind would be Butcher
Obviously, yeah.
for a big tall guy, granted not fucking sing size,
right?
and Wardlow, who's also another big tall guy, but he's also not that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to compare them for like size, sure, they put on some solid matches once we get to know how Singh works in ring. But like, yeah, I can't picture anybody else going against him.
Yeah, I can't
That's
picture
not
it either.
I mean, it's not like you can put Sammy up against him.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
and it is weak.
He's loco enough to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
Yeah, but and to think about it, you have this massive dude, and what looks like it's heading towards is a bit of a feud now with Jonathan Gresham, who is a shorter individual. Literally reaches to like about his chest. It's about chest and height.
Yeah.
You see, like it was like the wide hard angle. The hard camera was on it. And you see the massive height difference between both of them. And I'm like, Jesus, he's fucking huge. Granted, coming down to the ring with the other two, he was still towering over both of them as he was coming down. But Jonathan Gresham is considerably shorter than both of him. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this. Now, like I said, now I'm excited. Now I'm invested in what's going on. But if they were just going to leave it as, oh, yeah, lights on, lights off, or lights off, light on, and then this dude just shows up without any fucking say or anything, that's bad creative right there.
Yeah.
But they made up for it, like I said. So we'll see. We'll see what happens now. Do you have anything else to add for this week?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, so I guess that pretty much wraps it up for this week. So make sure you guys go to innercitygeeks.net because got everything over there. We got the main show, which is the Inner City Geeks podcast. Then we got this show. Then we got Bright Street Presents, and all the other stuffs that we've had before. So go check all that shit out. Then we got links to some cool places. So links to an awesome place that you can check out. Fucking Fight TV, because you got all the wrestlings over there. You could go on and you could watch the New Japan Windy City Riot that I was just talking about earlier with my favorite match of the week. Go check that shit out over there on Fight TV. And there's a whole bunch of other shit over there. Then we got Amazon Prime. You get a month first month free of Amazon Prime. Go do that. And then so much other shit. I just don't want to think right now. Just click the links. You'll see all the links in the show notes. All those places. Beard Octane, get some really goodness. CBDMD for some CBD stuff, obviously. Social Clothing. All the places. Go check all the places out. You can listen to the show on SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, Google Podcast, and on motherfucking Spotify. Yeah. Then you could find us on the socials on Twitter. Just look up Super City, Suplex City Geeks. Jesus Christ, my mouth is not working very well, but it's
But one
okay.
day you'll get it
One
right.
day, one day. Well, I got it right in the beginning. I said it right, but then I flubbed up everything else after that. Um, but yeah, check us out on the Twitters. I guess I'll be creating a fucking Instagram soon and all that shit. But it's a lot of stuff to take care of. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll figure it out. So check it out. Check it out over there. Brian, where can we find you, sir?
You can find me trying not to die from this cold.
Yeah, don't die.
Yeah. You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram, both Bry2J Presents. Check out bry2jpresents.com for a lot of cool content, including the blog that I wrote, which is sort of a follow up to my concert from 2018 with this concert in 2022 of Fozzy and their gold record. Um, so check that out. And of course, go to Bry2J on YouTube, Bry2J Presents on YouTube, and check out all the really cool videos I do. And there will be new stuff coming eventually once I get over this cold.
Yeah. Sweet, dude. Very exciting. Then you guys can find me on the Instagram and the Twitters at Mr. Jackal, MISTERJACKAL. And that wraps it up. So thank you guys for listening. Let us know what you think about the show. We'd love to hear you or hear from you. Fucking fantastic. So we'd like to wish you the best on your future endeavors.